Welcome to Fintech CTO Talks. In today's podcast, we will talk about partnership versus products and why really and what really wins global fintech expansion. The podcast that goes behind the scenes with tech leaders solving the challenges and rewriting the rules of finance. Money moves fast. Does fintech keep up? Let's find out. I am Ami and I sit down in each episode with CTOs, engineers, innovators who are driving the industry, making the finance industry faster, smarter, and more connected. Together, we will explore the platforms, the codes, and the bold ideas shaping the industry. And yes, a little fun on the way. On today's podcast, we have Avinash Verma. He's a dynamic business leader with 2 decades of global experience across US, UK, EMEA, and APAC markets, with expertise spanning strategic alliances, global sales, GTM strategy, deal pursuits, and founder consulting founders. He brings a powerful outside in perspective on business growth and market expansion, from leading complex multi-million dollar bids for more than 100 crore plus INR bids strategy to win-loss debriefs with an enviable of track record of 90% of bids reaching finals and approximately 30% contract wins. He is helping founders define their growth journey and strategic directions. Our guest has built a reputation for blending sharp business strategies with strong relationship. We welcome you, Avinash, to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you, Ravi.
So, my first question is, like people talk about bringing an outside in perspective. How does that change the way fintech approaches into the global expansion when you look into that?
See, if you want to grow and expand your revenue, right, then it has to be and ought to be an outside in and not an inside out, in my view, right? Inside out is predominantly, I think, people may have different views, but it's a kind of a medieval age concept. Because if you, anyone who wants to survive and grow, wants that customers should come looking out for him and not vice versa, right?
Hmm.
For that, business has to align with the customer needs, desires, right? And eventually, your product has to align with all these, requirements. Fintech has to have that mechanism through which they know the market pulse and align accordingly. But I don't think many people are doing that. They're just pushing the product and hence probably failing at some stages or, you know. So businesses does not even know who their competition is, right? So
Hmm.
if you have to see and ask any business owner or any sales guy, um, uh, do you know who's your competition? So you just take a couple of names, three, four rather, right? But he will not have that kind of an entire competition landscape per se, what we normally say,
Hmm.
right? So that homework has to be done properly by these business owners and the entire unit, right? By the leadership team. And I don't even know if these guys are doing proper heat mapping and all that for their service offerings, right? So if you start doing all these basics, outside in perspective, it will fall in place automatically. It will
So,
no more be a concept then.
correct, correct. So, when you were saying this, before expanding globally, how should a fintech truly figure out who they are as a product and as a business?
See, any business, if you know, you are in some city, right? So uh, you will know a place by its product, right? If you like sweets, normally by your grandparents say, यार वो दुकान की गुलाब जामुन अच्छा है.
Hmm.
You are known by the product or by brand. Brand comes later, product,
Correct.
right? तो उस दुकान से लेके आओ. Why?
Hmm.
What you want is basically you want to have the best, right? Your first preference is how can you be the best. So any business is known by the product, right? And by default, it has to be good product with best service. It's normal, right? Else ready to perish irrespective of business you are into, right? So in case of software, if you have a decent product and you are ready to modify its feature as per the need, I think you can do fairly well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are the risks when companies skip this clarity, as you are saying, and jump directly or straight to scaling?
See, risks that companies should be ready with if you're not keeping up the pace are basically one straightforward is revenue loss,
Yes.
correct? Second comes is reputation loss, right? If both is gone, valuation is gone,
Hmm.
right? Then if you have employees at all, you have, right? Their morale is gone. Market trust and confidence in the government, right? So eventually it's like you've lost the game.
Correct. That
So
makes
these
sense.
are, yeah.
True. So at a strategic level, like you will be you are associated with so many people, you know so many people into the industry. So how do you believe that the global fintech success starts with product strength or an ecosystem strength?
See, it's like what comes first, yeah. You want a good, healthy baby, and then the environment, right?
Hmm.
So, baby is your product,
Mm.
and then you want to grow up in the healthy environment, correct?
Correct.
So, you get your answer. It's predominantly the product, right? And then comes the ecosystem.
Hmm.
And see, once you have the minimum viable MVV, what we call it, right? Minimum viable product,
Hmm.
then you can sell it. But if the product is not good, your reputation is clearly gone, as we talked earlier, right?
Correct.
So, people can in your ecosystem give you one chance. But if they lose trust or product is not good, yeah. So you have to be a bit careful while, in deciding whether to what extent and what phase your product is as per the need. Do that kind of a homework and then go to the market.
Okay. When you're saying do homework, so in your experience, where do these fintechs over index? Is it product building or partnership building?
See, it's basically depends who is the captain of the ship, right? A seller or a businessman, right? So what people don't understand is that business is a superset and sales is a subset of that business, right? It is not necessary that salesman is also a good businessman, but in 90%, 99% of the cases, you will find businessmen as good sellers. So what sailors think that they can make a good business, but
Hmm.
eventually sometimes they get defeated because they think we know how to sell and we can do that. And trust me, I have seen people who think that they are a good salesman and eventually have taken their beating, right? So product is the basic necessity that you need to have for taking to the market or while taking to the market. And be positive towards market, what exactly they are saying. Open your ears, try listening to them, yeah, take their feedback positively, Otherwise, you will. It's a very hard work. They will not give you a second chance, right? So the underlying message is the seller's personality is a decisive factor in this case, right? So of course, the product building and then to what extent, how aggressive he is, right? While doing the product building and while, of course, because why salesman or businessman makes a good, company because when you go as a salesman in the market, you have the first hand information what market needs,
Correct.
and still you have deaf ears. God help you.
Not helping. So, can partnerships compensate for a product that is not fully market ready?
See, only partially. That's what I said, right?
Hmm.
They can help you, or if you really want to be in a market for the long run, then be honest and make client aware about what you have.
Hmm.
See, make your client, if you're selling it to a friend, right? You don't want to sell some filthy product, right? You want to sell right. So, and if you think as per the need, some few features are missing, uh, tell them clearly, these are missing, you will develop it over a period of time. Be honest so that the trust gets more, the bonding becomes more, um, what I said, more solid or more
Hmm.
concrete, right? Right? Uh, and if you have a good product, customer will wait, right? They will wait for you. You must have seen in many of the places in India, right? कचौड़ी अच्छी है तो लोग लाइन लगाएंगे, समोसे अच्छे तो लोग लाइन लगाएंगे.
Correct.
Product is good, right? Then we need a partnership. But yes, partnership help them expanding in other cities. So and eventually in the revenue race,
Hmm.
expansion of market and eventually revenue enhancement or increase, right? So their partners. So once you need to have that proper, at least some product which is showable or that people can have some kind of view.
Hmm. Hmm. So, like, as you were mentioning, uh, it is about building an ecosystem which is focused on growth. So, what are a few components about growth which the ecosystem should follow?
See, first, as I've been mentioning since my beginning of the podcast, that trust, right? Be honest, right?
Hmm.
How trust without saying, and of course, how you helped your ecosystem in the past. Because day one, you enter into the corporate or the outside world, people not people will not share their network,
Hmm.
right? They will not tell you what you want, they will not help you actually. So
Correct.
first, you have to help them in certain way and expect nothing initially. And you should be transparent, responsive, uh, abide by the timelines what they give you, be dedicated, be committed, right? Once they see, right, and everybody is observant, right? Whether it's clients or partners or your internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, whosoever is working with you. Trust me, everybody is observant. How do you respond to how do you respond to their emails, their phone calls, right? How do you participate in the meetings? What all pointers you are throwing, right? Uh, are you pushy? So I give you an example. In one of my companies, in my very first or second year, right? So uh, in my project, they gave me some task that I have to chase somebody and get some information.
Hmm.
Now that guy spent two days. He was not giving the information, and I was in a city where I don't know the language and all that. And they're very proud about their languages and all that.
Yes. Everyone
So
knows.
everyone, man, so everyone is so it's like everybody said, if you want to work in a city, you should or state, it's right that you should know their language and culture. Nothing wrong. So It was there 2 days spent, and I need to have that information. Trust me, I did not wait enough of mailing, enough of phone calls. I started following that guy. You were in the loop.
Wow.
He did not get frustrated. He sent an appreciation mail to my boss,
Wow. Okay.
right?
Hmm.
He said, I was not having time because of blah, 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 blah. So many things on my plate. And although your was also important, but from my team's perspective, the value of that particular component was not that. And hence, I was taking time to respond it to you.
Hmm.
This guy made it possible.
Yeah, right.
And that gave, and his mail gave me visibility to many of the senior leaders
Hmm.
across the organization.
Hmm.
They all appreciated, and I started getting large deals on my plate.
Hmm.
He's responsible, he's responsive. Within timelines, he's finishing the job. That's what is needed. He's committed, comes early in the office, goes late. I mean, that's the Indian culture. We can't, I
That
mean,
is in.
whatsoever the work-life balance we talk about, but that's what people see.
That's the
यार
fact.
कितना काम ले रहा है and how you are delivering, right?
Correct.
So eventually, so these are the things that help you build your confidence. Others will be confident about you. You will be seen as the most trusted guy in the team, and hence you build what internal ecosystem.
Hmm.
Now, next time you just have to make a phone call
Correct.
or send an email. That guy will align a person for you or nominate somebody that is key help kar देगा.
Hmm.
He needs the information. Eventually, you will get business, right? So that's the way things goes.
True. So when you are saying this has this, as you gave a wonderful example, is it the same even today with different generations, or is it evolving? Is it growing, or is it changing? How is it? How people perceive it?
It's see, if you are you see you if you ask me now being a leader of the last 4 5 years, I see who is like me. It's not like me, but who is eventually is responsible. I see the same kind of traits.
Okay.
Otherwise, if I'm at a customer location, I want some info. Who will help me?
Hmm.
Customer will not wait, right? I'm there to close business. So whether finance guy will help me, my operations guy will help me, my delivery team will help me. Who will help me? Because senior delivery leaders, if they don't pick up the phone when you need the information, you will definitely have a blast. And if you're there to sign the deal and something is some part of information is left, they want it then. Until unless they are on leave, I don't disturb people on weekends and or during their leaves. But somebody has to respond, right?
Correct. So
Because I have responded that. And that's the way IT, Indian IT works, right? I mean, we cannot deny that.
you
Whatsoever
can.
people say, but we can't deny that. Eventually, it's the industry, your company is getting paid, and eventually you're getting your salary. So
Correct.
it's simple, right?
True. Can you break down, the attack and alliance framework in the context of the fintech expansion?
Attack and
Alliance.
uh, ally. So basically, yeah, what I personally believe is your internal strength has to be analyzed.
Hmm.
Yeah, any company, what exactly is their appetite? So in our experience, we meet people who think big. Nothing wrong in thinking big, but have you done your homework? What I just told you, right?
Hmm.
Do you know where to go? How will go? So do you have those answers of how, when, where, what, right? What will you achieve eventually at the end of what are your objectives, right?
Hmm.
So it depends on personality of the person. Most of the founders are confused when they will when they discuss, they sound as if they know everything, right?
Correct.
So अगर सब कुछ पता है तो मेरे पास क्यों आया? You will. So why I'm saying all this kahani, basically, you will kind of create an attack or allied strategy after knowing their internal strength,
Hmm.
right? And then you see ki, what are their objectives basically, right? And then you align, have that marking, one-on-one marking, which market they want to say. So you need to have those answers ready. What, where, when, uh, how much revenue they want to earn at the end of what is their vision, mission, right? Then those attack and ally, strategies are, uh, prepared.
So, what are the top three data points according to you? Like, that you look at before advising a fintech to enter a new market.
See, again, I told you, if you want to enter into the new market, right? The fintech standpoint, you have to do that market analysis very thoroughly,
Hmm.
right? And people used to call it pest analysis, SLEP analysis, right? Various names. And then what I said earlier, you have to have that competition landscape,
Hmm.
your heat map, right? Ready. Once you have those kind of matrices or things in place, then you kind of create, okay, this is expected, this is what I have, this is the gap, how should I fill it?
Hmm.
This is your as is state, this is your to be state, right? And then you create how you have found the gap, you fill it, and then attack accordingly,
Correct. So
right?
like, as you're saying this, it like I need to interrupt you. So is the fintech market different here in India and is it different globally? And if yes, what are the differences if you could explain?
In India, we may say it's more of a service-based industry, right? Even if the
Hmm.
product orientation, it's a more service.
Correct.
So I tell you, that kind of fintech, I gave an example in another podcast. So in Europe, normally what happens is uh, you are you have planned a skiing for somewhere in Switzerland, right?
Hmm.
Uh, you are boarding a plane and you thought, यार मैंने insurance तो लिया नहीं अब क्या करूँ? You pick up your phone, mobile, you launch an app, just feed in your details, and your insurance is through. You're done with the insurance. You reach Switzerland, you took a room, you went for skiing, and you met with an accident, right? Now somebody, you just tell the hospital or whoever is the point of contact that I have an insurance policy. If we just, call up that customer care and everything is done. What is this? The fintech at its peak maturity.
Correct.
Can you imagine that in India?
Hmm.
No, right? तो ये basic चीज honesty नहीं है हमें. I'll be brutally honest,
Correct.
right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So first of all, whether we have that those kind of principles in place,
Hmm.
right? Secondly, now if we talk about fintech, it's predominantly we have come down or narrowed down to the payment industry and that to UPI,
Yes.
right? If you talk, so I would not. So there, those are aggregators.
Hmm.
Yeah, some aggregators who are taking, or bringing those kind of uh, financial products, on one platform and help you. But when you go to any kind of a life insurance or general insurance, I'm not too sure if people are actually or companies are giving you, paying you, reimbursing you those kind
Hmm.
of, you know,
Hmm.
money that you have spent for this thing. Secondly, if you go to the doctor, first thing what he asks, how much general insurance you have, right?
Yes,
How is that related to my disease? Right? To cure karna hai, yaar. That's what your job is,
correct.
right? So again, right? That's the kind of uh, that we have to be more matured, more polished, more principled, right? If we want that kind of a honesty or that kind of maturity in our own ecosystem,
Hmm.
then we can say, fintech is a bit different. So I would say it's more of a service-based fintech in India rather than a kind of other stuff.
So, when you talk about aggregators and multiple, companies, so how should companies decide, not those huge companies, the smaller ones decide which market to attack directly versus where, you can ally or you can become friends with the local players?
See, how do you decide? Basically, what you're asking is how do you decide where to launch a product?
Yes.
Now, it's like how do you decide when to give a birth to a baby, right? But giving here when you want to launch a product or something, you start with researching the market needs and then you develop it. So you answer or you probably answer to a question or problem statement. This is a problem. There's a state problem that my guys in my city or my state or my country are facing. Let me develop something as a kind of a solution that helps them solving it, right? That's what is product or service, whatever. So if you have that solution right or apt or some to extent it's built, that means you can launch in a very that's the first step, right? Now going to the cross borders overseas, right? Then again you have to do whether I can launch a modified version of this product or something different. So I give you an example. And some COTS is basically commercial off the shelf products, right? Packaged products, right? So if they want to launch, if they were in US or UK or Germany, now they want to come now to India. A bit different, but processes are more or less same in the industry, right? In B2B. Some upside down, some modification of features they will do, and it's ready to go. So what exactly is happening is once you've launched the basic product in in one country or one market, launching the same product or some modified product to the other market would have less GTM,
Hmm.
lesser time, lesser go-to market
Hmm.
time, right? And then you can achieve the same kind of goal. But eventually, what I have seen, if you have a FMCG product, so I was discussing with somebody who has around 50 years of experience in working in a continent. So we're thinking to launch something, and then he said, whatever you want to do, I will not go without doing research in that particular city or a country.
Hmm.
What it conveys, experience says, if you do not know again, I go back to your question number one, why outside in perspective. So if you don't know what the customer wants, need, desires, you can't have the product. Or if you have the product like US, then you have to create wars to sell that.
Correct.
So then you have to create the market need, right? So, but in an unethical way,
Hmm.
which is not accepted by the most, right? So
Yeah, right. I mean, at the end, everything is about revenue, right? Generating revenue and people talking numbers. So, like, what do you feel that sh it should be product led or it should be partnership led or, both hand in hand, and how revenue would be generated for fintech companies today? Back then it was easy, today it is easy, or, are you seeing is it evolving or growing?
But revenue is eventually, otherwise you will not be survival, right?
Correct.
Sustainability and survivability. So first you need to have that product ready, as I was saying. Right? Once that is ready, then everything is sales and partnership.
Hmm.
Sales is to an extent. Partnership, what people do not understand, basically they do that kind of curating the pitch
Yes.
for the cricketers, right? कि भाई तो बॉल डाल, मैं तेरे लिए pitch study बताऊं. You have to just go and sell. So we enter into the market, we see with our connects, with our expertise, what will work, what will not work, what will help. So in my one of my experiences, company is developing a product and they have got expert, they are paying him heavy, but people with they are connecting with in the technology as a technology partner were not right. They didn't even know the pyramid of the partners, this thing, partners company organization. As I stepped in, as I met the person and said, "Galat hai," and I get them the senior most level guys, email ID, phone number, organize that meeting, and took that commitment from them along with our next level two, according to us CEOs that uh, we would like to launch a product in that particular market. Your director has to come with his team, help us, take us to your particular set of accounts. So kind of curated the pitch, setting everything. Now my sales guy only has to go,
Hmm.
right? So that work, and in some places we set the entire game,
Correct.
right? So that's the way. So if the strategic alliance or partnership guy is really strong, trust me, most of the time it's like not much work to do for our sales team.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's only going and pitching and whatsoever the time, because eventually audit will come from the client side as well, right?
Yeah.
How you have how this company has been awarded or something like that. Those things, what formalities has to be done, has to be done. Whether it will take 1 quarter, 2 quarter, that time has to be spent. But things are in place.
Hmm. Correct.
That is taken care by me at least.
Absolutely. So I have a lot of questions, Avinash, but I'll stick to one last question. Like, what do you see? How is the fintech space growing and evolving into the global market, and how the other markets are perceiving it and, taking in and, understanding how is it?
So let me interpret that question. You're saying Indian fintech market evolving?
The Indian fintech market, but I want to understand the global fintech market, more of global. That
See,
is
I
it
keep
growing, evolving, and, is it
yeah.
benefiting? Huh.
I think probably India is a bit late.
Hmm.
So I was there in one of the organization 13, 14 years back. At that time, we were discussing the payment transformation landscape,
Hmm.
right? And I will go 5 years prior to that, 10 years prior to that. Europe has already implemented many of the settlement transfer payments, right? The transfer payments and all those kind of technologies. And they are pretty good at it. So we probably got a bit late entering into that system, uh, but it is definitely evolving throughout the world. But I'm not too sure how this World War III will go, and hence put some kind of, I mean, they have put some kind of break how we were doing in the Middle East, right? But yes, we can do. people across the globe are messaging me over my LinkedIn, whether we can connect, do something together.
Correct.
They are offering this. We have can we set up something together, right? So I think it is. If I'm not wrong. I saw a good number. I don't remember right now, but I saw some good number. I think at the end of December, how fast uh, uh, fintech space is growing and evolving, uh, even in Middle East and other parts of the world.
Hmm. Perfect. We'll move on to the next segment of the podcast. That's the rapid fire round. I'll ask you a few questions and you'll have to be very quick in answering.
Yeah.
It's one word or one sentence max.
Okay. I will try.
Control the product or control the distribution.
Post minimum viable product, its distribution.
Okay. Perfect product or perfect partner.
See, partner to grow, at least if the product is not that good, they will provide feedback as well. So eventually, basic thing as with them, the partner gives you feedback and everything. Yeah.
Enter a new market solo or with a local partner.
Depends which market, because expert is needed and initial, as I said, initial emphasis is required.
Fintech is becoming product business or network business.
Network business.
Distribution beats innovation. Agree or disagree?
No, uh, can keep you in lead for some time, but eventually innovation with right marketing and ecosystem will take its spot. So if
If
you
you have
allow me, I can give you one example. Good
no, no,
example.
no, no, no. This is rapid fire. You cannot. Sorry, but you
Okay.
cannot. If you had to choose a perfect product or perfect partner,
First, basic product with faster GTM, and then of course package.
one word for winning global fintech expansion.
Right ecosystem.
Perfect. We'll move on to the next segment. You will have to answer just one question into 30 seconds. What is the role of AI into the ecosystem and how is the global fintech, it is evolving into the global fintech market?
See, now I will use that example
Example.
here.
Yes,
Yeah. So probably a big stretch from 30 seconds. Then AI basically will affect products, right? It will not affect, strategy or ecosystem per se. Because, so the example is a startup, which I know has replaced a 35-year-old payment leader, right, in the world's leading bank because they could show client the result and how AI can help them with better output and outcome. Yeah. So that's the kind of AI effect that you see on the product, right? And of course, once you have those things ready, then collaborations will become more critical because in such cases, you want to collaborate with that kind of product, right?
correct. Thank you, Avinash, for your time and joining us on the podcast today.
Pleasure, pleasure.
So, everyone, let's stay connected for more understanding about the evolving world of finance and technology. Please share this episode with all the people who love finance and would love to understand more on technology. If you have any questions, if you're building any product, or if you want any understanding, just message us below. Avinash or I will get in touch with you. This was Avinash sharing his insights today. We will meet in the next episode. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring.